Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gatha Shivasti Gaura Bhakta Binda Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gatha Shivasti Gaura Bhakta Binda Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gatha Shivasti Gaura Bhakta Binda Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Friday. It is 11th of July. And it is Shravana Masa or Shridhara Masa. It is the first day of the month as per the Vaishnava calendar. And it is a Krishna Paksham and the Pratipat or Pajjani. So the first day of the month. Yes, so there are no other Vaishnavas. We shall quickly move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Buddha was speaking to Vidura about his pastimes. So Uddhava, he has inquired from Krishna about the Atma Tattvam. So after Uddhava has received the Atma Tattva knowledge, that is about Krishna, and also he received instruction from Krishna to go to the Badrikashrama. Saivam Aradita Pardatedha Adita Tattvatma Vibhoda Margaha Pranamya Padu Parivritya Devam Ihagato Aham Virahaturatma. Saivam Aradita Pardatedha Adita Tattva Atma Vibhoda Margaha. Atma Tattva Vibhoda Margaha. So once he received that Atma Tattva from the knowledge from Krishna, and then Pranamya Padu. So he has offered his obeisances unto the lotus feet of Krishna. Pranamya Padu Parurutya Devam. And then he has circumambulated around Krishna. And then he has gone to Badrikashrama. Sorry, when he was going to Badrikashrama, now on the way, he was stopped at the Yamuna river. Ihagatoham Virhaturatma. And now he is mentioning, I am now feeling separation from the Lord. Viraha Aturatma. I'm a bit anxious. Likewise, Buddha was mentioning. So today, further, Buddha says to Vidura, O Vidura, now, because I'm separated from Krishna and the most pleasing personality, I am feeling so much of anxiety. I'm feeling so much of anxiety. So likewise, he's once again stressing that I'm afflicted by distress with the separation without Krishna, without looking at Krishna's face and spending time with him. So, on the instruction of Krishna, so now I have come to this, I'm going to the Badrikashrama. On the way, I stopped at the Yamuna river. So, in the Badrikashrama, there is again glories of Badrikashrama. It is described somewhere. Okay, so here Buddha is going to Badrikashrama. So, likewise, Buddha is saying to Vidura, we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 4, verse number 21. सोहम तद्दर्शन आह्लाद वियोगात् युतः प्रभो गमिष्ये दयितं तस्य बद्री आश्रम मंडलम. सोहम तद्दर्शन आह्लाद. Soham, so thus myself, taddarshana ahlada, taddarshana. So while looking at Krishna, so giving an audience to Krishna, ahlad, that is so pleasure. Taddarshana ahlada, viyoga is the without now. So now I am separated from Krishna, viyogam. And atiyutaha prabho, I am afflicted by the distress. Prabho, oh my dear Vidura, my dear sir, Prabho. Viyogati yutah prabho. Gamishe daitam tasya. Gamishe, now I shall go to the Daitam. So instructed, I was instructed by Krishna. Daitam tasya his Badrikashrama Mandalam. Badri Ashrama Mandalam. So this is the Badrikashrama in the Himalaya mountains. Badrikashrama Mandalam in the association. So there in the Badrikashrama, so all the spiritual flower all the time it is very vibrant. So just if we just go there, we feel so much of happiness among the devotees association. It is very conducive to the devotional service and also tapasya, austerities and penances. Still, Narayana, they are engaged themselves in the tapasya. Okay, so that comes as part of glories of Badrikashrama. So here, Soham Taddarshana Ahlada Vyogati Itaha Prabho Gamishe Daitam Tasya Badryashrama Mandalam. The translation. My dear Vidura, now I am mad for want of the pleasure of seeing him. And just to mitigate this, I am now proceeding to Badrikashrama in the Himalayas for association, as I have been instructed by Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so we got Devani Mataji with us. Hare Krishna Devani Mataji. Thank you for kindly joining in the Japa session. It is very nice to see you here in the morning. Would you like to read Purport Mataji if you are available?
Yeah, I can. Just a second. Sorry, I'm just using my phone.
Yeah.
A pure devotee of the Lord of the standard of Uddhava constantly associates with the Lord in the double perception, simultaneous separation and meeting. The pure devotee is not for a moment unengaged in the traditional service of the Lord, execution of the Lord's service in the main occupation of the pure devotee. Uddhava Uddhava's separation from the Lord was unbearable, and therefore he started to Badari Karima in obedience to
So in obedience to the Lord's order, because the order of the Lord and Lord himself are identical. As long as one is engaged in the execution of the order of the Lord, there is no factual separation from him. Okay, so I hope Devani Mataji will join soon. God dropped. Okay, so here in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is describing a true devotee of the Lord of the standard of Uddhava constantly associates with the Lord in the double perception of simultaneous separation and meeting. So this is like a devotee initially in the beginning, he will associate Adav Shraddha. In the beginning, Adav Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sangha, Ataha Bhajana Kriya. So one after another, so there are so many other activities in his spiritual path. Gradually, Vidhi Bhakti. After Vidhi Bhakti, at the end, Prema and Raganuka Bhakti. After that, Bhava, Prema. Likewise, they all develop in a person who is engaging himself in the devotional service. So in that stage, whenever he is gradually elevating himself, then he cannot leave Krishna for a single moment. He's always with Krishna. So for Uddhava constantly associates with the Lord in the double perception of simultaneous separation and meeting. So there are two kinds of milos. One is the Vipralambha Bhava and Sambhoga. Sambhoga is the while we are associating with the Krishna personally, and Vipralambha is the separation. For example, Radharani in the Vrindavan, when Krishna leaves Vrindavan and goes to Dwarka, Mathura and Dwarka later on. So Radharani always thinking of Krishna in the Vipralambha Bhava. So that is a pure devotional service, always associating with the Krishna in a separation. And also when Krishna was present, that is Sambhoga. So many pastimes it has happened. That is Sambhoga. Two different, simultaneous. So now, so far Uddhava has been with Krishna. Now Uddhava is going to Badrikashrama. Now still he is remembering Krishna only, constantly associating. So the pure devotee is not for a moment unengaged in the transcendental service of the Lord, either in the some separation or in the meeting. In both situations, he is always remembering Krishna. Okay? And then execution of Lord service is the main occupation of the pure devotee. So this is also when Lord is the bona fide spiritual master, he is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Acharya mam vidhaniyat na avamanyeta karhechet namatya buddha asuyeta sarvadeva mayo guruhu. So Acharya mam vidhaniyat. So when Krishna says to Uddhava later on in his instructions to Uddhava that Acharya mam, so vidhaniyat, you need to understand that Acharya is myself. So here, when we are executing our devotional service, need to follow the spiritual master instructions. So this is the third instruction. This is one has to obey the spiritual master. If he is not obeying the orders of the spiritual master, it is an offense, one of the offense. So it will be difficult for him to progress in the spiritual path. So execution of spiritual master, execution of the order of the spiritual master or Lord Krishna is on the same level. Because spiritual master repeats what Krishna says. He does not introduce new things or mental speculations. He simply delivers the same message as Krishna. So execution of Lord service is the main occupation of the pure devotee. So Uddhava's separation from the Lord was unbearable, and therefore he started to Badrikashrama in obedience to the Lord's order, because the order of the Lord and the Lord himself are identical. Order of the Lord and the Lord himself are identical. When we follow Bhagavad Gita, the same Bhagavad, whatever Krishna has spoken to Arjuna, if we also follow the same thing, then we also attain same destination as Arjuna has attained. So it is there Krishna was present. Here we have got Krishna's instructions in the form of Bhagavad Gita and also Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is another form of literary form of Krishna. So once Krishne Sudamopakate Dharma Jnanadivisaha Kalunasa Dushamesha Purana Arko Adunoditaha. Purana Arko Adunoditaha. Arka is just like a, in this age of Kali, the Lord has appeared in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is Idam Bhagavatam Namapuranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Chakar Bhagavan Rishihi. So this is literary incarnation of Krishna. There is no difference between Krishna and Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is like a book, but Krishna is the personality, non-difference. Okay, so one has to take the either Bhagavad Gita instructions, further progressing, further development, Srimad Bhagavatam, further more this Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and all these further literatures come, the most confidential literatures. Okay, so as long as one is engaged in the execution of the order of the Lord, there is no factual separation from Krishna. So that is the main thing here. So that's why he is going to Badri Ashrama Mandalam. Even so, here Uddhava is going, and previously Dhruv Maharaj, he was also after ruling the world for 36,000 years. He also went to Badri Ashrama. So there, Kalopa system iti sa prayu vishalam. So he went to the Badri Ashrama, and then he engaged himself in the finances. Tasyam Vishuddha Karanaha. Tasyam Vishuddhakarana Sivavar Vigasyaha. he used to take bath in the fresh waters of Badrikashrama. So there, Alakananda river also flows in the Badrikashrama. He used to take bath there. And in such a way, Badvasanam Jitamaru Manasa Krutakshaha, and he controlled his breath and all senses, and then he meditated in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the form of the Lord. Stule Dadara Bhagavad Pratirupayetad. Bhagavad Pratirupayetad. Now we go to the temple to see the form of the Lord. Likewise, whatever we have seen, all of our life in the temple, the same form, we go once we go to that place, before we leave our body, and then meditate on the same form. Stule Dadara Bhagavad Pratirupayetad. Jayanta Davasikaha Vyasrujat Samadho, and engage ourselves meditating on that form, beautiful form of the Lord, Samadho. So likewise, that environment is very conducive. So likewise, Dhruva Maharaj, after that, the Vaikuntha airplane has come. Sunanda, Dananda, they have come there, and then they have taken Dhruva Maharaj to the Vaikuntha. But similarly, here Uddhava is also going to Badrikashrama. So in the Bhagavatam, it is described the Himalaya mountains, it is Devabhumi. Devabhumi. So like that is the place for all kinds of Janmaushadi Tapo Mantra Yoga Siddhaihi Naretaraihi Jushtam Kinnara Gandharvaihi Apsarobihi Vrutam Sada. All the time the Kinnaras, Gandharvas, Apsaras, they're all moving there. Yoga Siddhaihi Naretaraihi Nara Itaraihi, not ordinary people. It is a place of divine. And where Janma Aushadi Tapo Mantra. So that is where the birth of Aushadi Tapa Mantra. See, all kinds of herbs and austerities and penances and mantras. Yoga Siddhaihi Naretaraihi. That is the place everything. If we see, Vyasdev has compiled all the Puranas and scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahabharata and everything in the Badrikashrama. It is, and that place it is described very beautifully in the Bhagavatam. Nana Manimanaihi Sringaihi, Nana Dhatu Vichitritaihi, Nana Drumalata Gulmaihi, Nana Mrugagana Avrutaihi. Different kinds of jewels also. Manimanaihi Sringaihi, the mountains. Nana Dhatu Vichitritaihi, Dhatu, all kinds of different kinds of waters are flowing there, Dhatu. And also the flowers, creepers, Nana Drumalata Gulmaihi, Nana Mrugagana Avrutaihi, different kinds of animals, Nana Amala Prashravanaihi, and the very pure waterfalls, Nana Kandar Sanubihi, the beautiful caves, Ramanam Viharintinam Ramanaihi Siddhayoshitam, and also Ramanam Viharintinam, and within those caves, the beautiful women who are the wives of the yogis. They also wander in those caves. And apart from that, different kinds of birds. Mayura Tekabiritam Madandar Vimuchitam Plautaihi Raktakantanam Pujitaisha Patatrinam. Very beautiful peacocks. Mayura cooing sound. It is very beautiful. And Madandar Vimuchitam Plavitaihi Raktakantanam Pujitaisha Patatrinam. And beautiful trees, and they're spreading very huge trees, spreading their branches and calling all the birds to come and sit and then eat their fruits. Ahvayantam ivodhastaihi vijan kamudugaihi drumaihi. Those beautiful trees inviting the birds to come and sit on them. Vrajantimava matangaihi gurunantimava nirgharaihi. And there are so many beautiful elephants moving around this mountains. Vrajantimiva matangaihi. Just like elephants are going, the big forests are moving. It appears like that. Their huge bodies. Gurunantimava nirgaraihi. Different kinds of flowers. It is like mentioned, Mandaraihi Parijataisha Saralaishu Upashobhitam Tamalaihi Salatalaisha Kovidar Asunadhunaihi Sutaihi Kadambaihi Nipaisha Naga Punnaga Champakaihi Patal Ashoka Vakulaihi Pundaihi Kuravakairapi. Different kinds of flowers. When we hear these different flowers, we feel so much of happiness as we see, but we don't see some of them. and also different kinds of the fruits. Panasa Budumbar Ashwadha Plakcha Nyagrodahingubihi Burjaihi Vosadvihi Pugaihi Raja Pugaihi Jambubihi Kajur Amratak Amradhaihi Priyala Maduka Ingudaihi Drumajatihi Anyesha Rajitam Venukechakaihi. It is decorated with all kinds of trees, flowers, and fruits, and beautiful sounds of these birds, and very pure water are there. In those waters there. Sati Devi, the wife of Lord Shiva, she used to take bath there. Padyastam Nandaya Satyaha Snana Punyo Tarodhaya Vilokya Bhutesha Girin Vibhuda Vismayam Yayuhu. And looking at that, all the demigods are also just feeling so much of happiness. Vismayam Yayuhu. And there is again the Kuvera's abode is also there, Alakapuri, within those regions in the Himalaya mountains. Nanda cha Alakananda cha Sarito Bahitaha Puraha. Tidda Pada Padam Bhoja Rajsativa Pavani. So the beauty is described Alakananda, which has got pure water. Nanda, Alakananda. They're also making them like a Ganges river later on, Gangotri. They will meet at the Gangotri. And here in the Bhadrikashrama, this is out of we have got 4 dhamas. This was established later on, revived by Shankara Adi Shankaracharya. So there, some of the dacoits they have destroyed the temple, but the deities Sri Adi Shankaracharya, that deity was fallen. There was in the Narada Kund, so they brought revived Adi Shankaracharya by his mystic powers. He has seen that deity is in that waters, and then he brought it and reinstalled it, and then he has established. And also the priest, they are coming from the Kerala. I think there is some Nambudri Brahmanas. So they were given in charge to worship the Badrikashrama temple, that Narayana Badrinath temple. It is one of the 4 main dhams, holy shrines in the Himalayas. It is the abode of Lord Narayana. So we see our acharyas and everyone, Vasistha and many great sages, Kanva, they're also been into this Badrikashrama, Badrinath, and especially it is linked to Vaishnavas. So here now Uddhava is going to that place, Badri Ashrama Mandalam. Badri Ashrama Mandalam. Okay, so there is further glories of about this Badrikashrama. It is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. That is about the Srimad Bhagavatam for today. This is here Uddhava is mentioning to Vidura that Soham Taddarshana Ahlada Vyogata Yutaha Prabho Gamisya Daitam Tasya Badri Ashrama Mandalam. So I'm proceeding to Badrikashrama in the Himalayas for association. I have been instructed by Lord Shri Krishna. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, we shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today, letter to Balimadana, September 24th, 1970, Calcutta. Okay, can I request Saranya Mataji to read this letter if Mataji is available?
Hare Krishna. My dear Balimardana, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated September 17, 1970. In the meantime, I have also replied your last letter in which I have informed you that if you take more interest in preaching work, absolutely, you may be relieved from the governing body commission. Regarding a branch in the Fiji Islands, if you can open immediately a center in the very near future, I will be able to send some Hindi knowing Indians to assist the preaching work there. I know in Fiji Island there are many Hindus, and one of them asked me to open a center there. His address is as follows: Baburam Sharma, Post Office Box 267, BA, Fiji Islands. I have just received one letter from Nar- Nayana Bhirama, and he has sent me met one Indian gentleman who lives in Taiwan and would like us to open a center there. His address is as follows: Naveen Gajar, MGR, Dew Point, Far East in 703 Chia Sinlet, Taipei, Taiwan. You should immediately contact Nayana Bhirama about this prospect. Anyone who goes to Fiji must contact Mr. Sharma, and amongst others, he will be a nice friend. Yes, in Calcutta, we are getting good coverage practically every day. In every meeting, the slide show makes the whole thing very impressive. So anyone coming from Los Angeles cannot only bring the my recorder from Karandhara, but also slides and especially nice pictures, as well as some large posters of your spiritual master and Lord Chaitanya. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Any points, Mataji, in this to highlight?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, 2-3 points is like for Balimardana, Prabhupada was engaged, asked him to um, focus on preaching so that he can be like if maybe he may not like to be a part of GBC or something, so he was asked him to focus on preaching work more. So and Prabhupada was giving like the contact details of few persons from Fiji Island and Thailand, so that if there are Hindus, obviously it is good for the process to start, because they know like what it is. So if there is many Hindu population there, so it can start their Fiji Island, and Prabhupada was helping them by providing one of the person's address. Same for Thailand also. And then in Calcutta, Prabhupada was mentioning it is going, we are getting very nice response. So and also asking if any devotees from Los Angeles is coming to or going to Calcutta, along with the recorder, also the slides also Prabhupada was asking, because I don't understand what the slides maybe some pictures or something. So that and spiritual master's photo and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's photo, so it can used in the preaching purposes. So yes, Prabhu, that is what I understood. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely summarized. Okay, any other comments, devotees, that I wanted to add? Okay, so that is essentially Prabhupada's letter. It is just opening new centers so that to spread Krishna consciousness every nook and corner of this entire world. Okay, so these are the steps Prabhupada is to take. Contacting the people who are Anukullena Krishna Anuselanam, favorable to Krishna consciousness. Okay, so that is what is happening, and this is slides means some kind of presentations, just like a PowerPoint slides. Likewise, previously they may be having some different kinds of slides possibly. And collecting the nice pictures when the Western devotees are preaching those pictures, so that it can be used in spreading Krishna consciousness in Calcutta. Okay, so those are my takeaway points as well. Thank you, Maharaj. And from the announcements point of view, so today is Friday. We don't have any evening program, and tomorrow morning we continue with Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavatam recitation of third chapter, third canto, third chapter, and then Vaikuntha pastimes. So there is a last bit of Vaikuntha pastimes, and then after that, from next week onwards, we would be entering into Shri Brahma Samhita. Okay, so now we have completed Vaikuntha later on, and tomorrow evening we have got Chaitanya Charitamrita with the Krishna Keshav Prabhuji at 7 p.m. Okay, these are our upcoming events, and dear devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna. Okay, so if there are no updates, and we shall conclude and then continue with further japa. Okay, वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Hare Krishna, conscious day everyone.